The next 4 videos will revolve around the properties of cross product. We are going to prove them one by one. Starting with this, let's prove that the cross product of vectors u and v is equal to the negative of the cross product of v and u. Now, for this to be true, let us of course use here the components of u and v, and of course review what does cross product mean. If we are going to have here u times your vector v, it's actually equivalent to this vector with these components. And please try to, of course, be familiar with this. You will have here u sub 2, v sub 3, minus u sub 3, v sub 2. You would know that it's correct if your first component doesn't have the components u sub 1 and v sub 1. Next, you will have here your second components, u sub 3, v sub 1, minus u sub 1, v sub 3. And finally, you will have your u sub 1, v sub 2, v sub 1. Okay? So this would be the components of your cross product of your u and v vectors. But of course, let's show that from this, we can actually come up with the negative of v and u. What does this mean? Take note that if we're going to interchange the vectors, all the components here will also be interchanged. So from this perspective, in targeting the component of v times u, or the cross product on v and u, let's of course write all of them starting with the component v. Because we have here u, cross product of u and v, we have u's, all of them would start with u paired with v. So here comes the proof here. Okay, so of course, let's have here u, cross product of v, let's just simply copy that, u sub 2, v sub 3, u sub 3, v sub 2, u sub 3, v sub 1, u sub 1, v sub 3, u sub 1, v sub 2, and u sub 2, v sub 1. Since our target is this, let's try to see by rearranging the v and u components if we could come up with a negative factor later on. So arranging them, you will have here v sub 3, u sub 2, minus v sub 2, u sub 3. Okay, then v sub 1, u sub 3, that's rearranging. Again, just simply rearranging them. You have your v sub 3, u sub 1. Then you have your v sub 2, u sub 1. And then minus v sub 1, u sub 2. Okay. So now that we have arranged them, notice that for the original form, for the first term, it starts with u sub 2 before u sub 3. Our u sub 2 is here, but we don't want to interchange them or return them to the original form because our target is v, cross product of v and u. So what we could do is this one here. This would be our first term. So we are going to rearrange them. This is what will happen. You will have here the negative of v sub 2, u sub 3 plus v sub 3, u sub 2. Then, doing the same on the rest, negative v sub 3, u sub 1 plus v sub 1, u sub 3. Then negative v sub 1, u sub 2 plus v sub 2 and u sub 1. Hopefully, it's clear that we are just rearranging the terms. So all the negatives will be the first terms. And of course, these are all positive. That's why the second terms are pluses. Now, this now patterns to our definition of the cross product, because we would like to come up with the cross product of v and u. It's not, all of them starts with v now, and it pairs with the u. However, take note that here, our goal is the positive of the first term and the negative of the second term. So what we can do here is this. If we're going to factor negative 1 for all the components, so negative 1 times v sub 2, v sub 3, this one becomes minus now. Sorry, that's not v sub 3, u sub 3. Again, this will become minus now, minus v sub 3, u sub 2. Same thing with the second component, negative 1, v sub 3, u sub 1. This becomes minus v sub 1, u sub 3. And for the last component, still the same. Negative 1, v sub 1, u sub 2, minus v sub 2, u sub 1. Okay? So once we do that, we have here scalar. And we have the property for that for vectors, which is also true in R3, previously proven. As we take at negative 1, what we have here is v sub 2, u sub 3, v sub 3, u sub 2. Then v sub 3, u sub 1, minus v sub 1, u sub 3. and you have here v sub 1, u sub 2, v sub 2, u sub 1. What is this equivalent to? That's actually, when you look at the form, it's v, or the cross product of v and u. So basically, we have shown here, okay? Hence, you will have here this statement: the cross product of u and v is just equivalent to the negative of the cross product of v and u. This is the proof for this property. That would mean there's no such thing as commutativity for cross product, because the result would just be negative of the other. Okay, we cannot just simply commute the vectors and get the same result. You can do that, but of course, considering that the commuted cross product would be the negative of the original form. Thank you very much for watching.